Hi, my name is Renan Augusto. I'm with SmithLife Homecare, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Ask the Expert. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and a senior home safety specialist. To tell you a little bit about SmithLife Homecare, we're a home care agency in partnership with the Charles E. Smith Life Communities. Charles E. Smith Life Communities has been in the healthcare industry for over 100 years. Today, I'm honored to have a very special guest, Mr. Patrick Smith, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Council of Certified Dementia Practitioners. Welcome to the show, Patrick. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Love what you're doing. Not many home care companies are out there doing their own podcasts, so hats off to you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're definitely doing the digital part. Another thing that's very important to us is being certified dementia practitioners. I'm a CDP. Uh, every single one of our care specialists, except for one, is a CDP because he's newer to us and he's going to start taking the classes so that he can become a CDP. Let me jump right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your position with the National Council of Certified Dementia Practitioners, please?
Happy to. So, as you mentioned, I'm the CEO of NCCDP. I've been with the organization about 2 years, and before NCCDP, I was with a similar professional organization, only this was in the education sector. But similar mission, we were doing trainings for school teachers, and that's really where I became passionate about training for high impact professions. So I'm blessed that I get to do it again with NCCDP. Now it's training for caregivers within the long-term care industry. And then I'd say on the personal side, I live in Chicago with my wife and my dog, Sahara. I'm in the office today, but when I work from home, Sahara's a great little work from home assistant. So really, really happy to be here.
I love Chicago, and I've been there for 24 hours during a layover, and it was cold and windy at that time. Also, a dog lover. But can you tell us a little bit more about the National Council of Certified Dementia Practitioners? What is it?
We are a professional organization specifically for dementia care providers. So our core activity is administering the Certified Dementia Practitioner program. CDP program was started over 20 years ago, and it's grown into quite an impressive community today. And we're looking to do even more in the next 20 years between building out our content of asynchronous, building out our library of asynchronous content, improving our technology, continuously improving our curriculum, just to name a few things. But we have a lot of exciting things in the future.
Yeah, and as you talk about revamping, I've followed you on LinkedIn, the National Council of Certified Dementia Practitioners. Even your website has a really nice makeover. There's a lot of useful blogs and information on there. So I encourage all of our viewers to take a look. On LinkedIn and Facebook are the two primary platforms that I go to. Why is it important for caregivers to get certified in dementia care? In
Great question. This is a big one. Okay, why certification matters? So certification elevates the standard of care for people living with dementia. How exactly do you do that? Couple things come to mind, but fairly simple things. Certification ensures that folks are equipped with techniques that are both up to date and also, I would say, effective. So just diving into those up to date, dementia care has evolved tremendously in the last few decades. For example, when I was a kid, my grandfather had Alzheimer's. We put him in the old folks home. That's literally what people called it back then. And the staff mindset was let's keep them quiet and keep them occupied. And so it's crazy to think about how far we've come since then. And certification is just one of the ways that we can help ensure that caregivers are current with the times. So that's one. And then second point on being effective, we have actually just started tracking outcomes for the CDP program. So we do it through a survey tool called SKIDS, which was developed by some researchers. And basically, it helps assess confidence and competence for caregivers with dementia behaviors and environments. And we just started doing this, but our sample size is around 200. But so far, CDPs are scoring around 5% higher than non-CDP caregivers. So, said differently, certified professionals are objectively demonstrating better job performance. So, I know that was a long answer to your
Yeah.
question, but to summarize concisely, certification matters a great deal.
No, that was a great answer. And I'll say that my grandfather and my father has dementia. Grandfather and grandmother both had dementia, Alzheimer's. And I thought I knew a lot about it. And then I took the course. And one thing that I appreciated, so much information in that course. I could take it over and over and over again. And every time walk out with different bits and pieces. I think everybody in the senior care industry should take that course because it's a wealth of information. Let me ask you, how does the National Council of Certified Dementia Practitioners program help better support caregivers?
Yeah, I would say a couple things. Number one, I mean, as you mentioned, our curriculum has quite extensive breadth and depth, and also kind of as a subcomponent of that, we focus a lot on person-centered care. That's a central part of our curriculum, and we even have a separate Montessori training that, if you want to, you can go even deeper on person-centered care. So that's the first one that comes to mind, but also our trainings are practical. So yes, the content on paper is great, but our instructors are excellent at facilitating discussions and encouraging best practice sharing. And so you can even get more out of the trainings that's beyond just what's in the student handout notebook, which I happen to have right here. Um, and yeah, one more thing I would say is the curriculum is evidence-based. So Denise Scruggs, our director of education, she ran the Beard Center on Aging at the University of Lynchburg for almost 20 years, and she does a great job with our curriculum and ensuring it's all evidence-based.
That's fantastic. And I think that we as a company need to take a look at our caregivers being more involved in learning this information. In your opinion, why is ongoing training important for the caregivers?
Yeah, so as we just talked about, dementia care obviously evolves over time. So that's one thing that jumps out. But also, continuous training can ensure that caregivers are informed of the latest developments. Um, it's one thing to just check the box on continuing education and just go through the motions. I'd say it's another thing to actually engage with the content and actually learn. So that's going to be a big focus for us in the next, call it 3 to 5 years, is how do we create engaging asynchronous content where people won't just despise going through with these modules on an ongoing basis.
That's great. And I'll say that I took my initial course with only assisted living. I loved it. I had such a great teacher. I really like the fact that you can go onto your website and see if a certified dementia practitioner is in good standing, that you encourage to. I renewed my certification, and it says right there that you have to take your CEUs and you could be audited at any time. I really appreciate the structure and what your program does to make sure that somebody who's called a CDP, it's not a mill just putting people through. It's really encouraging them to learn and to apply. And it's really been helpful in my role. For
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to jump in with one thing I forgot to mention. A couple months ago, we rolled out our first continuing education product. So it's new. We partnered with a great company called Allsbetter to put the curriculum together and load it into a learning management system. But it's live now. It's been live for a couple months. And we've been getting great feedback on it so far. And I think we'll be looking to do more of this in the future. So just a quick plug to check out our website and look into that CE offering that we have.
that's where I did it. That's where I renewed it, and I did it online. A lot of information. So I read it. You're able to save the information. It was really fantastic. For our viewers interested in obtaining a certified dementia practitioner certificate, What should they do?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, the trainings themselves, the seminars are open to anybody. So caregivers, but also family members, even non-care staff like security or food services. Anybody can go to the trainings. For certifications, there are eligibility requirements. It's different for each program, but by and large, if you are a licensed healthcare professional and or if you've been working in long-term care like yourself, you'll be eligible to go through the certification process. I would just encourage folks to visit NCCP's website. We have plenty of information on each program. And one last thing I'd mention is we have a great membership support team up in New Jersey. So pick up the phone, give them a call, and they'd be happy to chat with you and answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, you really do have a great team. I remember when I first signed up for it, I was reading through it and I was like, I hope I qualify for this. And my boss was, go for it. You do qualify. She wrote me a letter, and everybody there was so helpful. You were going through a transition from doing paper applications to now it seems that everything's done online, which is great. And everybody was very helpful. So thank you to your team. Is there anything that we haven't covered in this Ask the Expert that you'd like to mention?
No, I think we've covered most of it. So, I mean, I guess what I would close with is um, this profession is hard. It can be frustrating, it can be draining, and I have so much respect for all the folks at Smith Life, and just even in the long-term care industry more broadly. This is very high impact work, and the world is a better place because of you all.
Thank you. Thank you. And the feeling is mutual. I am a proud certified dementia practitioner. I thank you for your program. I encourage everybody to participate in it. Um, Patrick, I'm so honored to have you here. You're such a special guest. And again, I encourage everybody to visit their website to learn more about becoming a certified dementia practitioner. Big thank you to Patrick for visiting us. I hope that everybody likes, subscribes, and turns on the notification to our channel. And thank you very much for joining us today. Take care.
Thanks for having me.